All right, guys. So in this video, I will be breaking down entries, how to grab some entries, because I know most people struggle with this part. This is honestly one of my favorites because entries, like, bro, it's so good to get in a trade. It feels so good. Your mind is rushing, but everything ends up like based off the way I trade, everything ends up in your way. From now on, I'm gonna be 100% with you, like to the T of like all emotions when I have in trading, but like it's just it's gotten to the point where it's like in some cases you just never lose. And we're gonna break it down from here. All right, so I want to talk about entries. So we're gonna start with the structure first. Structure is important for anything. If you don't have structure, then you don't have an entry. So just keep that in mind. If you don't see structure, then you shouldn't have an entry anywhere because there is no structure that's telling you where it wants to go. Right? So we're gonna start here, and the reason I'm starting here because we're gonna do a reversal entry. So we're gonna be paying attention to how a reversal is set up for you in order for you to get a trade. So price is on this downtrend here, and then it stopped here, made a new low in the market, right? So if there was new lows in the market, boom, there was some lows, lows being broken, right? What do I say all the time in all my past videos that you've seen? When price is on a downtrend, there's going to be lower highs and lower lows. So these are lower lows right now. Just going to mark these up. These are lower lows right now. And these will be the lower highs. We're just going to do it with an arrow, right? These are going to be our lower highs. These are going to be our lower highs, right? This is also going to be a lower high for us, right? So just take that into consideration, take that into notes, mark up. I mean, write down any notes that you want to, because this is important. All right. After making this low, price made a lower high, but then it failed to make a low and created a new high. Okay. Follow me here. Follow me here. So price made a low in the market, meaning price is bearish. So then as a reaction of price, like I've talked in the previous video, you can go and watch reaction of price. After price makes this low, it will make this high. Not saying it's going to go high, but it will make a lower high. But in the form of this making a lower high, it failed to make a lower low. So this will indicate this low right here to be higher than this one. And this is a higher low. Then price makes a new high above the previous high. And this is telling us one thing. Above this high, so above this high, price can push up above here to here, right? So this is how entries play a part, because we never buy the first time. We always come the second time around, right? Always come around the second time around, because now we know above this area, we know our direction. So let's turn on sessions to see what session this plays in. Okay. This gray session is New York session. This is when you're supposed to be looking for your trade, right? So let me just go back, hit the replay, come here, right? Go back to this. And currently we are on, I believe, the 3 hour. But let's just go down to, matter of fact, let's really see what's going on. Let's just go down to the 15. And let's get started for a New York session. I don't think it's coming up anytime soon yet. All right, so New York session kicks off. New York session kicks off. I'm gonna go to the 5 minute. And we're looking at this, right? Now, this is also playing a part on the higher time frame, because we have this downtrend, same as we've seen. There's going to be a low, there's going to be a high, there's going to be low, there's going to be a high, there's going to be some lows, But what happens? It breaks those highs that it made for itself. Boom. So now we have an indication. Price makes a high. Then price comes back down. Full pullback, not breaking any lows. So what do we have? We have price having this high. So we know above here, we can push all the way up to here, right? So as we've seen, New York session open is roughly around here, 9:30. Price starts to dump, 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 dump. Everybody's hopping in sales. Everybody's psychology is hopping in sales. Sell, 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 sells. But they didn't wait for the confirmation of this low to be broken. They didn't wait for this low to be broken. When you're selling, you want lows to be broken. When you're buying, you want highs to be broken. So us, traders like us right now, we're waiting. 9:30, 9:40, 9:50, still nothing. It didn't break a low. It's still not above this high. Boom. Soon as 9:55 comes in, we are back above here. And this telling us, okay, we can buy. Keeping our stop loss below here because this is where we don't want to see lows being broken. So our trade setup will look like this. Boom. So now we're risking 70 points. Where's our target going to be? Our target first is going to be this high. So that is 200 points away. So right now you're already in a 1 to 3 trade. Give me 1 second. All right, so now you're already in a 1 to 3 trade, and this is already good for you. You can target these highs, but long term, if we go back to the 1 hour, long term. Let's just go back to the 3 because it was easier to see. And I'm gonna delete this. Matter of fact, I know what I can do. Let's just go here. And we can enter down here now, thanks to the new trading view. Thanks to his new feature, we can buy here, right? The numbers are not going to be the same, but this is just to show you how long we're going to hold this trade. Right, so go back to the 1 hour. That's where we're going to enter. Let's go back. We enter above this line because we know from here, from price breaking this level, it can go all the way up to here. So boom, we got that same reaction. Stop loss below here. Right, let's continue. It's a little pullback. That's cool. And then we get that explosion. Price is ready to go up. And right now we're looking good. Price hit our first area that we was looking for, but boom, it closes above, giving us more indication. So I want you to use candle closes from now on. Only candle closes, the body of the candles. I meant not candle closes, but yeah, body of the candles, candle closes. I want you to look at these as the places that you need to be looking for zones to be broken. So we got zones being broken above here, giving us an indication that price wants to continue higher. Right? So now we're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this now. And now we're looking good. Remember, price is buying to the high. So our target would be that area that I was talking about right here, the highs. All right? So let's continue. Boom, price is still buying. Boom, price is still buying. Hit our first target, right? And this was because of the lower time frame. This isn't even because of the higher time frame yet. It's not even a higher time frame yet. So let's go back to the 3 hour and let's turn off sessions because we already know we're trading in New York session. So now during New York session, we get a good push above here. So this is telling me, hey, I can hold my trade because I know price can come from here up to here. So boom, boom, target hit, right? Now, how I like to look at this is, what time is this? It's 8 p.m. Market's already closed. I can look at this in 2 ways. I can take partials here, or I can take my whole thing because I know this is where price goes. I don't know yet that price is going to continue higher. I don't know yet. Price has already touched this new high, but I know above this level, buyers are in control. So my thought process here would be, okay, I can take some partials, but I don't want to see price. If price comes back below here, then I'll take whatever I have left. So taking partials here And then if price comes back below here, or if it starts to break, really, if it starts to break lows, then you can do whatever you want. But this is where you will be making the decision of taking partials or holding your whole trade. But right now, nothing's telling me price is willing to sell or price wants to sell. So during that London session, price is trying to push up because this is roughly around London. There was a small reaction. Let me talk about that as well. There's small reactions as well, because you have to think, this is how you got to think. If there is this area like this, something like this, where price will touch a resistance and start to sell, that is a reaction. Price is not just going to just break through it without giving you some kind of reaction. There's going to be a small push down. There's going to be another small push down. It's just because sellers are here. They're trying to get all the buyers out. And this is letting you know who's in control, because if price is pushing above here, this is letting you know that the sellers that are making a reaction here are pushing people down. They are not strong enough to push everybody down. So that is letting you know that your buys are going to be in control for a while. So we're going to continue. Boom. During, let's see, because I'm pretty sure, yep, during a New York session, we got another push higher. Now, how we could have broke this down was this, right? Price made a new high in the market. Boom, price got another new high in the market. So we can mark this and we can mark this. So we know back above this level, boom, we can come up to this level, right? Boom, new highs, new highs. Coming into 930, these were our lows. We don't want to see price come back below these levels. These are our low levels. These are our stop loss levels. This is where we want our stop losses. So if I was taking a trade, this is how I would take my trade, right? New York session comes. Price is above this level. Let me see if I can scoot that back, because I'm going to do it exactly how I would do it. Price is above that level. So I will place a trade here. What am I targeting? I can target up here, or I can go to the higher time frame. Let's go back. The higher time, it kind of messed it up because I skipped, but this will be my next target. Sorry about that. Sorry that it messed up on a higher time frame, because it already did it, but we're going to go back to the smaller. But yeah, going back to the smaller, and that's how I would do it. Waiting for that New York volume to help push in. Boom, we got a new high indication. So as well, this will be our high. I seen price come in here too. Oh, that's pretty much it. I seen price come in right here with a little pullback as well. That could have been an indication. Let's look on the 1 minute. Yep, price pulled up, gave you an indication, pulled back, and then continue higher. So you could have played it like that too. And then we're going to keep going. Price giving you a high, pull back. It's cool, retesting this level. That's cool with us. As long as it's not breaking our lows, we're good. I promise you, you're good. And then continue higher. And then overall, hitting our target. And remember, we're still in this trade here, but trade and view made us come all the way up here. But we're still in that trade. A target hit for us. Boom, another trade successful. And I'm doing this literally step by step of how I would do it. Right? So another trade hit successful. Boom. That's cool. Now, let's go back. Let's see if we can go back. All right, let's go back. Boom. Our target hit. So in this moment, I'm like, okay, now I can close my trade, because this is that high that we was overall targeting. Now we're going to wait for another setup, because our setup is done. Now let's look at the ratio of what our trade was. We entered down here. We had our stop loss below the lows. It was like roughly below the lows. And then we ended up closing our trade all the way up here. right? So this was a 1 to 10 trade off the higher time frame. This is on NAS. So you was risking $50 to make, let's say, $500, $600, $700, depending on the lot size you put. But you ended up making 538 points. And then it could still be counting if you're holding partials. All right. So then after that happens, we're going to delete all this. All right, we're going to delete this. Right. So now in my head, let's just delete that. Now in my head, I'm like, okay, price has a new high in the market. I'm going to be okay with price selling. I just know back above this level, price can push up to that level. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. So boom, price above this level. Let's go look at what session we're in. Yep, we're in a New York session, so we could get a possible push up. We just don't want price breaking our lows. So this will be our lows. We don't want price breaking our lows. So honestly, I would say let's take a position here during a New York session and above here, right? So above here. And I'm looking for the same reaction to push up all the way up to here. New York session closed, but we ended up hitting our target once again. So boom. This would have been what our trade looked like. Probably would have been using less of a risk, to be honest, because there's probably some lows here. But let's say this was a 1 to 3 trade setup. Let's zoom in so you can see how we broke that down. I got an eye for it, so I can pretty much see it from there. But let's just do it here of what it would look like. All right, so coming into New York session, we had this high, and then we had this low. New York session came in, boom, made a high, made a higher low, pushed higher above these. So this is already telling me that above this area, so above here, we can push up to here. Boom, boom. So my trade would have came from roughly here when price was making its way back above here. And I would have kept my stop loss below here and then overall targeting up here. So yeah, like I said, it was a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 trade. You can tell by risk to reward ratio of what your trade is. This is 3.95, meaning it will never show you the 1, but it will show you your reward. So this is meaning 1 to 3 risk to reward. This will tell you how many points you have too as well. So this was a 200-point trade on NAS, and you're just risking $400 to make around $200, $300, right? But with that being said, New York session is opening up. When our target got hit, New York session was opening up. So we're going to see if price wants to push higher. Boom, we get a push higher than a New York session. The reason why we didn't want to close is because, one, we hit our target before New York session was finna kick off. So let's go back. So roughly around here, we hit our target when New York session just opened. So to be honest, we could have kept a stop loss below here, trailed our stop loss below roughly here, because this is a low and we don't want to see price break lows. Could have trailed that stop loss there. We would have still been good in points. But overall, we just kept holding just because the New York session came and we was looking for to see if that trade wants to continue. Now we have a new high in the market. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off so you can see the candles. We have a new high in the market. Honestly, we can go for this now. But with this new high, we can take it's up to you of whenever you want to close your trade. This is highly up to you whenever you want to close your trade. You already hit your target. You're getting more points above the board above here. So this is all what you want to do. Personal preference, what you want to do. Price continues higher, making a new high, right? And then boom, after making this new high, yes, let's take note of this. After making that new high, price ends up selling hard. And that's cool because we know when price has a new high, it will make a low for us. It just can't keep going straight up. So this is when, like I said, this is wherever you want to take your positions at. Honestly, let's say I would have closed at the end of the day. Most of the time, if I'm pretty up off of a trade, I would most likely say close at the end of the day. If if it's at a new high or something at the end of the day, because some days do end crazy greens and some days end up crazy reds, something like dropping all day, and then it ends off dropping and never going back up for that day. Or some days it'll just go up, end of the close, and then so you can always close at the end of the day. But in certain moves, like at this end of the day, we didn't hit our target, but the next day we did. So it's something like, it's some trades where it's really how you feel on if you want to hold or not, because like how I'm telling you how to trade, it's going to be putting you in the best positions ever. So it's like really up to you if you want to close with how much money you have, or if you want to gain a little bit more, but it's all up to you. So let's say we close our trade around this level right here. And now we're going to be looking for another setup.